Hi. A very warm welcome to you. Could we just start by taking your name, please? Okay, you have an appointment? Wonderful. Okay. You're actually a little bit early, which is a very desirable trait to have in the client, so thank you for being prompt. I like to mention the fact that very often in life we have an appointment, let's say at 3 p.m. And, we do our best to arrive at like 2:55. And then we sit there till 3:15, 3:20, and we're wondering, why did we even bother being on time in the first place? Not here at Articulate Design. My name is Matt, and I'm Chief Stylist and the owner. And I don't say that with arrogance. I say it with an enormous amount of pride. What we've built here as a team is, I think, the perfect balance between exclusivity and affordability. Now, you've booked in today for the haircut and maybe a little bit of a facial, just a bit of a pampering session, as you're no doubt very well deserving of. And it's something I think that we don't take time often enough. It's important that we make time for ourselves, as well as being busy with making time for seemingly everyone else. So all I need you to do from here is just take a seat in that very comfortable chair, and it is as comfortable as it looks, and let me take it from here. All right, I'll talk you through what we have in store for you today, and I really think you're going to like it. Now, the next stage is actually quite loud. We'll just be cutting the lines in to the hair, the back of the hairline, and we usually do this close to the beginning of the session, just so if you do intend to sleep, this gets it out of the way with. It's one of the quieter shavers that we have. Remington have a bit of a habit for making unnecessarily loud, just kidding, Remington, unnecessarily loud shavers because they're so powerful. We pay a little bit extra and had this re-engineered, and there's dampeners inside the shaver, so it's far quieter. And some people actually like the vibrating noise, but it won't take very long, okay? Okay, here we go. Okay. There we go. We'll start off with just a quick scalp inspection, just to kind of see how the scalp's looking, if it needs any treatment, do you have any allergies that I need to know about? Okay, good. Leaves us wide open, which is exactly how we like it to be. I'll start with the scalp check and just make sure everything's fine. Maybe, if required, give you a scalp treatment, maybe a moisturizer of some kind. And then while that's setting in, we'll apply a very, very nourishing and surprisingly relaxing mud mask. And while the mask is beginning to set, we'll cut into the hair, style it, leave you with something nice and something manageable, something that you can repeat when you get up in the morning. Quite often we leave the hairstylist with something that we think is, quite often we don't even like what we leave with, but the intention is that we leave with something that we like, but people struggle to recreate that the next day. Not so here. Okay, so again, to take a seat, let me just have a very quick look. And now everything we use is premium, and we're completely transparent with our costs and our products, because sometimes we don't use the most expensive product on the market, but what we do use is the most effective product. Some of the items that we use are very expensive, but not necessarily. We are not dictated by cost, we're dictated by results. We're a results-orientated company, and always have been. Okay, I'm just going to part your hair a little bit. Just get a little bit closer here. Okay. Well, your hair is actually very soft, which is a good start. Okay. We have a very, very small spot of dry skin just above the forehead. Do you use hair products quite often? Okay, that's fine. I think we'll provide an aloe serum. Just let it soak into the scalp a little bit, and what this will do is just soften up the skin a little bit. Quite often shampoo and conditioners can be kind to the hair, but not so to the scalp. Okay. Okay. You just have a little spot just above the hairline, actually. Nothing to worry about. There's nothing untoward there. It's just a little bit dry. Maybe if you're using hairspray or a gel, you might find that that's your starting point, and it's kind of drying there and just causing a little bit of irritation to the scalp. So this is a Bulgari Scalp Nourishing Serum. So just a touch of aloe. We're only using just a pea size amount. Work it into the hands. And we're just going to apply to the scalp. And this is equally as nourishing for the hair as it is for the scalp. I wouldn't call it a hair serum, but you'll find that the hair absorbs it, and you'll wake up a little bit more of a sheen, a bit of a shine to your hair. Okay, I'm primarily focusing on just that spot above the hairline, but covering everything lightly. Again, bit of focus. Okay, how are we doing? I will say from this point on, everything I say can be largely ignored if you choose to. You won't be tested on anything I'm telling you, okay? Quite often, more often than not, actually, our clients find themselves being not only relaxed, but being put to sleep during our treatments. And you'll notice the two big pillows supporting the back of your head. They are for falling back into and sleeping. Okay, we have no issue. We've worked around hundreds, if not thousands, of clients at this point that have fallen asleep, so we're very well experienced. Okay, and sleep during a hairstyling is a beautiful thing as far as I'm concerned. It means that the client has ultimate trust and they're comforted by the experience, which is exactly what we're aiming for. Okay? Now, the next product is actually a Glam Glow face mask. This is a mud mask, and Glam Glow, I guess, traditionally is what we associate with the girlies putting on and whatever. At Articulate Design, we don't see gender. I don't say that as a political statement, I just say it as honesty. There's no reason why any male, female, non-binary, it doesn't matter. Having nice skin is a benefit for everybody. Your body likes it, people like looking at you, and there's absolutely no shame in taking care of your body, because somebody has to, right? So this essentially is what's called a youth mud. It's scented very, very lightly, which is unusual for mud. You don't usually associate the connotations of mud, aren't usually very pleasant, but it's what's called a glow stimulating treatment. And what this will do, the skin will absorb it, and it will help revitalize and encourage cell regeneration, actually. And you'll find that, again, when you wake up in the morning, your pores will be completely clear, your skin will have that natural shine, and it will almost feel tighter. It's been clinically proven to reduce fine wrinkles as well. It's a premium product, and it's one that I really can't recommend enough. Sadly, we are not sponsored. Maybe one day. I'm just going to load this into our bowl, and this will actually be painted on. Okay. Not that I mind getting my hands dirty. It's just it's in a product that's managed far easier with a paintbrush than with the heat of the fingers. It's quite a common mistake that even beauticians make, trying to apply a proper mud mask with their fingers. But perhaps not the most attractive looking. But it actually has a sea salt scent that apparently is entirely natural. Getting a little bit of a lather here. And you'll notice when I am applying, there's an exfoliation, a grittiness to it. Okay. I'm just going to load out the brush. I'm just going to paint quite liberally, primarily focusing on the T-zones. And just in case you were wondering, it doesn't necessarily apply to you, but it's very light and very kind to facial hair. Quite often people use masks that, when they try to remove them, they rip away half the facial hair, which is desirable for some people, but we don't believe in discomfort being part of our service. Very good. And just in case you were curious, and you probably know this, but when we say our T-zones, we just mean here. Literally the perfect tea. And you also have what's called little sweat pockets that perhaps your pores clog more easily than anywhere else in the rest of your face, and you can be prone to breakouts in this area. Could also be related to diet, and more often than not to stress and the lifestyle that we lead. There we go. Good. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Now this will start to set, and obviously you don't need to talk anyway, but if you have an itch anywhere, just nod your head and I'll itch it for you, because again, from experience, I know what it can be like, especially having a mud mask on. As it tightens, it can be very itchy, and you don't want to be rude and itch your face while I'm cutting hair, but feel free, or let me know with a nod of the head, okay? Good. Fantastic. Again, apologies if that is a little bit uncomfortable. Try to make it as concise as possible. But the result, sculpted, well presented. Now we just need to cut into the hair, remove the mud mask, and leave you with a style at the end, okay? Once the mask comes off, we also have what's called a purifying elixir, just to finish off and kind of set the face, okay? Okie dokie. Now we will be using a Vasili pair of scissors. Our Vasilis are diamond tipped, which is as elaborate as it sounds, I suppose. Diamond is one of the strongest natural occurring elements in the world, and it takes an inordinate amount of effort to dull a diamond tip pair of scissors. Now, the scissors themselves are stainless steel, but the blade themselves, the cutting portion, is coated with albeit a very small strip of diamond, but it does mean that we can cut for extended periods of time without seeing any dulling on the blade. And quite often I've been in barbers and hairstylists, and I can hear the dull on the scissors, but because it's such a slow progression, the stylist is often unaware. You might find that if another stylist goes to use the scissors, they're like, hey, these are dull. It's like, when you're a kid and you're growing tall, you don't notice your growth because it's incremental. But we have our diamond shears recoated every year, which might not sound very often, but the diamond lasts probably for 2 to 3 years beyond that. Now, just relax into the chair. Just see what we have here. The scalp is looking much more nourished, moisturized. Good. Okay. Good. Good. Rose petal water, in case you're wondering what that beautiful scent is. might be wondering why we continue to cut when there's no hair. A lot of time pacing is important while cutting hair, so you might see a stylist be doing this. And it's not even cutting the hair. It's about pace and intention. Good. Very good. The scalp really is looking quite wonderful. Let's be stepping around the back a little bit here. Very good. Your hair is actually, as I said, is quite full. It's thick. I don't think we need to do anything too crazy. I think the initial serum we applied to the scalp, the hair seems to have absorbed. I was enjoying. I think that's as far as we need to go. Just want to tidy up this fringe. Good. Just right next to the ear here. Good. I'm just leveling the ear. Say, for somebody whose job it is to sit and relax, you're doing a very impressive job. Just tilting the head a little bit. Good. Good. Wonderful. I can still smell the sea salt from the mud mask. A little trace of the rose water. Speaking of which, just a little bit more here. Good. Okay. All right. Now I do have a habit of admiring my own work, sometimes a little bit too much, but I think it's important to be proud of, what we do. I think it's okay. I'm just understanding what the shot looks like. I understand that social media plays an enormous part in almost everyone's life, even reluctantly sometimes. Sometimes styling hair is about framing style, the shot. Even framing the occasion. Okay. To me, that looks fantastic. touch on just above the ear. Okay, just above the ear here. Okay. We've cut into it, a little bit of layer. We haven't volumized it, but just giving it a bit more lift to it, a bit more life to it. Your hair was very healthy, but it looked a little bit flat. We've cut into it, kind of shaped it around the face a little bit, around the head. You need to go. Perfect. I'm very happy with how that turned out. Now we just have a few more things to do. The first of which will be removing the mud mask. Now this is a very simple, they're actually called soft and simple. They're a small facial wipe manufacturer that we discovered. Oh, smell. Citrus and pine fruit. And the mud just glides off with the soft and simples. Admittedly, it sounds like something you would maybe, wipe the face of a kid with, but they're quite expensive as far as facial wipes go. But they have a committed team to recycling and using recyclable goods as well. But the product itself is a finish. It's very, very, very light. Get another one. It's very, very light on the skin. It's very kind. Pine wood. It's a beautiful smell. Your skin is radiating a glow and a sheen. Just looks like you've been for an MOT or something. I can even smell the lemon and the pine wood. My hands. Okay. All right. What I'm going to do now is just very quickly declare war on your split ends. Now this is a Turkish technique, and people very often ask, is this real, or does this really happen in salons, or are you the only one that does this? This isn't my technique. Turkish barbers were the ones to invent this, but it's underutilized, providing you're safe. We're actually going to be burning off the split ends. Now, please don't be alarmed or don't feel anxious. It's essentially just brushing to the end, and then the hairs left at the end of the comb, like that, are just burned off. And the reason we singe them off is because split ends actually inhibits hair growth, and dealing with split ends encourages not only hair growth, but a healthier sheen and a thicker look to your hair. Okay. And all we're doing is just very quickly applying the heat. as we brush through the hair. Good. 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 Very good. Okay. Now, how are we doing? Looking fantastic, I must say. Okay, I'm just going to apply a very, very small elixir for the face. And this is the smell. It's beautiful. And this is applied sparingly, again, to the T-zone. And this just finishes off the work the mud mask starts. It locks in the goodness, the Dead Sea salts, that scent in the mud. It's actually Dead Sea salts, which they alone are meant to have incredibly restorative properties. Just applying very gently with the finger. Only the index finger, and we're using almost no pressure. The skin at this point is actually quite delicate after a mud mask peel. It's a little bit sensitive and want to maximize the benefits. That I'm very impressed with. Your face just looks... You look happy. You look healthy. You look so healthy. Good. Very good. That's this is what we call a finisher spray. So watch your eyes. And what a finisher spray does is just sets everything, locks everything in. Fantastic. And now finally, we're just going to style the hair a little bit, using a little bit of product. It's a very light mousse. Good. Very good. Good. Just stepping to the side a little bit here. We're just working in this product. And what we're doing is we're sculpting at this stage. We have the perfect base. Your hair is manageable, it's well nourished. It's almost asking to be styled. Again, what I'm doing here is something very simplistic that allows you to recreate it in your own time. And it's a simple style, but it's the elegance. It's the way it's been cut round the face, round the head. And it's the cut of the hair that allows such an easy style. All I'm doing is just working in the product. And this is quite key, making sure that your hair has enough product without overloading so that you can style. Very good. want to apply one final product to the hair. It's a very, very, very light leave-in conditioner. Just a small amount. And this is applied after the hair is styled. And it works with the styling mousse. And that's lavender you can smell. It's beautiful. Lavender traditionally is known as a sleeping flower. But the scent itself is beautiful. And the product just merges seamlessly with the styled hair, and it's just accentuating. It's being absorbed even again by the hair, right down to the root. Now, a finishing serum we don't use very often. In fact, it's quite rare. I haven't used it this week, but I just wanted to give you the absolute best. Not to say that we're shortchanging anyone else. Often hair just doesn't require a finishing serum. But since it is your first time with us, and the finishing serum actually can last a very long time in hair, even between washes, it's absorbed, continues to nourish. And good. Okay. That I am very, very happy with, actually. Just final touches. Sometimes an artist has to know when to step back from the work, but when you leave today, we want to make sure that people know you've been to Articulate Design, that you know, that you feel that you've been to Articulate Design. Now, okay. I am very happy with how this has turned out. The face looks radiant. Wonderful. And the hair. I think we got there. I think we did it. Okay. It has been my absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming to see us today, and my name is Matt. Please feel free to come back whenever you feel the need. You will always be welcome. We'll always be here to help you and to assist you. And it's what we love to do. We love to take care of people, because you deserve to be taken care of. You're an incredible human being, and you shouldn't forget that. Okay? Thank you. See you next time.